fuck is showing up? There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's saying it's not connected.
So I think it's giving you.
Hey guys, we're just having a little bit of technical difficulties with the camera, so just give us 1 second. If not, we can't figure it out. We'll just go in no camera. It's showing.
Let's try one more time. That's going. What access
This is going. Can we shut that door? All right, guys. Well, we are having a little bit of camera difficulties. Not that you guys really need to see me. So I'm just going to get going on this, get you guys going on your day. My name is James Dainard, and we are doing our August market update. So for those who haven't attended yet, we've been doing this once a month since interest rates have started to rise. And this is where we really just cover we lightly touch on the national statistics, Washington State, and then we break down the tri-counties, King, Snohomish, Pierce, and then other things we're seeing in the economy. So we'll be pretty quick on this, and then we'll open it up for questions, and then we will move on. There will be a recorded version of this also on Project RE's YouTube. So real quick, a background about me. I've been a full-time investor since 2006. Myself and my business partner, Will Heaton, we've been flipping and investors throughout the downturn. We're kind of known as the recession flippers. We were flipping a lot of properties from 2008 to 2012, continue to do it today. And we have been involved in over 3,500 flip transactions with the purchase or disposition in all of our Heaton Dainard clients, along with our own inventory. And since founding Heaton Dainard Real Estate, we've done over $1 billion in sales. So we're a very active investment shop. We specialize in working with investors and getting them the good buys with the right plans to figure out how to turn a profit on this. So what we're covering tonight, we're going to cover nationwide trends. I guess this morning, not tonight. We're going to cover nationwide trends, tri-county overview, King, Snohomish, Pierce County. We're going to look at interest rates, what they're doing, what they anticipate to do, inflation reports, and then just other investment trends that we're looking at right now. So let's recap up the month, and we're going to kind of hammer through these stats real quick. Again, you guys, the purpose of this is to kind of get you guys in and out for lunch, get you up to date with what's going on, and then by all means, ask as many questions as you want. We will answer them. So real on the nationwide, many markets are starting to rebound from the initial interest rate decline. These affordable markets throughout the United States have actually been doing fairly well with some steady growth, even with cost of money being up over double for what it was 12, 18 months ago. Median home price is on the rise. It's up 3% year over year, up to $420,000, which is kind of hard to believe considering that the cost of money has gone up so much that the housing market is being very resilient. It's just kind of pushing its way up still, mostly driven by lack of inventory. Number of home sales are down 18.6% to 1.5 million nationwide. And that's primarily just because there is buyers in the market, but there's not a whole lot to buy. And inventory is way down. And so sales are naturally declining as well, which is really what is pushing up that median home price. Days on market are at 30 days, up 4% year over year. Newly listed homes were down 13.3%. And there's over there's around 2 or less months of inventory nationwide. So again, with that inventory month supply, once you get below that 5 month mark, the market should be appreciating. Doesn't matter what the cost of money is at that, and we're seeing that right now as the median home price continues to climb, even with the high interest rates where they're at right now. Not all markets are the same. Every market's been acting in its own way, and so as investors, you want to dig into what's going on in your local backyard. That's why we're covering the Kingstone, which in Tri County so much today. And you want to kind of focus on what's moving and what's not moving. More affordable markets are appreciating, but the thing is, affordability is not just about price. Like just because it's 700,000 doesn't mean it's not affordable. It the affordability spots in your market. And so, like as you're looking at potential deal flow or different types of investment, look at what the median home price is for your local markets, and those areas are growing quite fast. So anything that's around that median home price or median price for the city are still moving up. The more expensive stuff is slowing it down or still flat. It takes a lot longer to get offers. You got to be more patient, but things are still trading. It just takes a lot more time. Lower price point investments are more stable, and affordable markets are still getting multiple offers right now, even with the cost of money of where it's at. Washington State, let's take a look a little bit closer under the hood. Number of homes sold are at 8,751. That's down 26% year over year in Washington State. So again, not a lot of inventory, not a lot of sales going on. The median home price is up to 614, which is a 3% year over year increase. So that's with the nationwide trends. Part of the reason we're going to start to see that median home price start to elevate up a little bit is because when the rates started going up dramatically, which was about 12 months ago, the market kind of overreacted. And so the median home price dipped so much during that time. We're going to see a lot better rebound stats for, I think, this month, September, and even October. Days on market are at 15, which is down 3%. Months of supply is at 2%, which is a 0% increase. Homes of price drops were at 37% of homes that were listed, which is down 7.4% from where it was year over year. And a lot of these price drops is because people are just asking for a very aggressive number out the gate. And so if homes are priced really high, they have to cut price. Homes that sold above list were 31.4. So that means if your home's priced well and you're in that kind of median target range, homes are still moving fairly quickly and above list. That is up almost 5% year over year. So we're seeing that the market is picking up on a 12-month scale. A number of homes sold were at 23,000, down 25%. And inventory is down 21% in Washington State. So again, not a lot of things to buy. That is what's causing the market to kind of rebound back up. Our core market or core county, King County, number of homes sold were down 20%, nearly 19.5% year over year. So again, inventory is tight, not a lot of sales going on. Buyers are being very selective because of the interest rates and where they're at. Median home price is at 840,000, which is up 2.4% year over year. Number of sales decreased 33% year over year. That's hence because there's not a lot of homes. The inventory is down, and days on market are down to 8 days. So about 12 months ago, when the market really started, the rates started jumping, days on market started creeping pretty quickly. And I think it got to almost 40 days on market by the end of the year. We are back down to 8, which is a 7% drop, 7-day drop year over year. So we're seeing things get consumed faster, not a lot of things to buy. If you do have a good single family house and you're putting up for sale, it's priced well, it is gone in that first week. And then month of supply is creeping down to 1.49 months. So that's a really, really low amount of supply. And that's why we're seeing that kind of that median home price bounce back up. People still need housing. There's a lot more buyers in the market than there is housing for sale, especially good housing that's been renovated and priced well. And so we're seeing the supply really start to tighten up. Pierce County, number of homes sold down 26%. Only 1,000 homes got sold in all Pierce County. Again, that's just because inventory is really, really low. Median sale price is up 549,000. That's up 0.8% year over year. And I do remember Pierce County kind of dragged a little bit behind King County on that first initial drop. I think in the next 3 months or so, we're actually going to see that median home price bounce up and recover quite high compared to what it was 12 months ago. I think at one point towards the end of the year, the median home price got down to almost the low 500s. And so I will be interested to see if we have a much higher median home price sale percentage increase over the next 90 days. Days on market are at 12, down 5 from year over year. So things are getting consumed faster as well. And the month of supply is less than 2 months in the market. So again, why the market is moving. And we've had a lot of good luck. Anything in Pierce County and even King County and Snohomish, the products that are selling best right now are just your standard, you know, single family house that has a little bit of room for growth. As people are starting to look at buying these properties, they're getting used to the rates, but they also want to make sure they can grow in these homes. And so your standard 3-bed, 2-bath property, 4-bed, 2-bath, or 4-bed, 3-bath is selling really, really well. Some things that have slowed down a little bit is like your 2-bedroom, 1-bath, where people think it's more of a transitional house. They're kind of pushing back a little bit on that. But if they can grow into the property a little bit and they have that bed bath count, things are moving very quickly. Market conditions in Snohomish County, we have number of homes sold down 14%. Again, inventory is really low. You're going to hear me say that on repeat because that's just the truth. And then the median sale price was at 700,000, which is up 1.5%. I will say the median home price in Snohomish County, because there is just less homes getting sold, and there's a lot bigger swings in what is sold in Snohomish County, whether it's like a large acreage property out in more of the country or more in city. And so we see that median home sale price jump around a lot more in Snohomish than the other two counties. Days on market, things have been selling faster. Sorry about that. Days on market are down 9% or down 9 days year over year. And so again, things are getting consumed faster. And then 31% are getting sold over list price. 40% of sold are getting under asking price in the last 30 days. So it really comes down to what is that affordable pocket again? The ones that we're seeing get bid up are the ones closer to that median home price, that 600 to 700,000. Once the homes that are selling under list are typically the properties that are above 999 in that range. And so many of the stats, and I think if I remember correctly, even the percentage off list, the list of sale price was at like 99.5%. So even if they are getting a little bit under list, it's not that dramatic. And the month of supplies is just under 2 months. So Snohomish County is in a very healthy place. All three counties are. Inventories tight. Properties are rebounding from the kind of sudden drop from 12 months ago, and inventory is being consumed fairly quickly with very, very low inventory levels. If we get down below that 1.5% or 1.5 months of supply, we could still see this appreciation keep pushing through, especially in markets like the more affordable areas of Snohomish County, Pierce County. And so those are things you want to track as you are looking at investing, that staying close to that affordability range really can make a difference on how fast that deal gets sold. If you have something that's higher than the median home price, you got to be patient. Make sure you check your comparables, make sure that you're priced well, and then wait for the offers to come in and track your showing activity. So our listings right now, we're averaging about 3 to 4 showings a week. Our townhome new construction products is a little bit less than that. It's about 1 to 2. There's a lot more townhome inventory in the market than there is your traditional single family house. Right now, we have 35% of our listings pending. Almost 75% of our single family or 80% are pending. Most of the 65% that are active are actually a lot more townhome sites that have a little bit more pre-sale of a vibe. The pre-sales are taking longer to sell in general. There's a lot more inventory out there. People can be selective. Depends on what the builder buy downs are and where they're at in their process. And so some of that is what's actually still sitting active, but our core single family homes are selling very, very quick. Average days on market are trending about 10 weeks. And the reason being, again, we have a lot of new construction in there that's taking longer to absorb. Our days on market for single family are selling very quickly though, and they're less than 7. And so again, check that product that you're looking at, see what's being sold, and then call your Heaton Dainard broker, and we can kind of walk you through what's moving best in the inventory. And it's not that new construction is not moving, it's just there's a lot more inventory and the pricing's been more established higher. Um, that price per square foot's a little bit higher. Um, Things are getting sold, it's just taking longer at that point. And then right now we are trending about 99% of list price. Um, and one other thing we want to kind of note on our listings, if a lot of our product is priced above the median home price because it's been fully renovated, fully turned, those days on market are taking longer because there's just less buyers in the masses there. A lot of the transactions going down right now in Washington State are your first time home buyer. I think someone told me the other day it was about 50% of most transactions are being done by first time home buyers, which are going to prevent you out of that highest price product in the market typically. So again, if you have a higher price home, just stay on top of the comps, be patient and track the showings. And as long as you're getting a few showings and everything around you is priced in the same range or selling at that range, just be patient. You'll find the right buyer. There's not a lot of inventory. And so if you have a nice renovated home, it will sell. It just, you got to get that right buyer on it. Buyers are being a little bit more selective. So let's talk about the economy and the interest rate with the inflation review. Not the greatest report came out this last month. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. Inflation is trending higher. The most recent CPI index for August 2023 increased by 3.7%. That was higher than expected. Energy, housing, and food are the main drivers. They say gasoline is actually the thing that is causing the biggest spike on the inflation. Uh, but these are things we have to watch as we can kind of see, cost at the pump is a real thing. I know on the West Coast, gas is 6, 7 bucks a gallon. And that is going to have some impact for us as renovators, flippers, and investors, because also the guys that you're hiring have to pay these fuel charges. They're going to probably charge more. They're going to think more about the jobs they're taking. So definitely pay attention because the energy sector drastically affects us. If energy and food are excluded, the CPI rose at 0.03%, which, I never really get this because everybody needs energy and food. So I don't know why it would be excluded, but it's a way to track other types of inflation metrics. 0.03% is not that big, but it was higher than expected. So those are things that we want to pay attention to because as, Jerome Powell keeps looking at increasing rates, he's watching inflation. If it keeps trending higher and it's not going away, he could be less inclined to keep rates where they're at and continue to raise them. So again, something we really want to watch. Other things that are causing issues with inflation or just cost for us in general is the labor market. So the unemployment rate did unexpectedly rose to 3.8% in August. They have wanted to cool the labor market down, so that is not a terrible sign for us getting lower interest rates, but it is not a great sign for our economy. So it's kind of a catch 22. Um, Personally, I'm hoping that this kind of gets a little bit under control so then rates can kind of settle down at that point. If the labor market continues to be really hot, it could cause rates to stay elevated for a long period of time. Payroll increased by 187,000. The estimate was 170, so that means that the payroll amounts have gone up. That's a good sign. Healthcare was the biggest gain in that sector, and the reason I wanted to put that in there because obviously we're very tech heavy. We do have a lot of healthcare in Washington as well, but as you're looking at maybe an out-of-state investing, around different types of rental properties. I know we have a bunch of rooming houses next to hospitals. Healthcare was one of the biggest gains, adding 71,000 jobs. So as you're looking at where the demographics moving, what areas are getting paid, what are hiring, that's a good target audience for you to look at. Even for your midterm rentals that people are doing right now, that traveling nurse, that also is a good target for you because the healthcare is expanding. Our average hourly earnings rose by 0.2 and 4.3% year over year, and that is below forecasts, um, which isn't great because it's good that people are making more money, but it is causing to increase some cost. And in addition to, they need to make sure. I mean, one thing they want to pay attention to is they don't want the average hourly earnings to be a lot lower than inflation too, because then it's kind of a washout. So those are things we all want to watch right now is what's not only going on with inflation, but what's going on in the labor market. Making sure you take your time, read up on that. That will tell you how to forecast on what you want to do as an investor. We all are doing different things. Some of us are flipping, some of us are developing, some are buying rental properties, some are doing all of the above. Based on those trends, we want to look at what do we think is going to happen, right? Like if the earnings continues to be a little bit flat against inflation, those more affordable markets are going to be really attractive. The more expensive markets might get a little bit slower. And so those are things we want to kind of pay attention to. Where are the jobs being created? Are wages going up? And is that going to absorb your product that you're going to be selling down the road? Interest rate review. So current rates right now are about 7.2%. Investor rates are in those low eights. So they're not great. It has made it difficult to cash flow things. But we are expecting no change in rates in September 2023 when they make their announcement. We are expecting one more rate hike by the end of the year. So those are things we want to kind of pay attention to. It could slow the winter down a little bit more. We are definitely seeing a lot more seasonal slowdown in the summer and in the winter, just like it was prior to the pandemic. And so I would say, really watch those rate increases. You want to watch your dispo times. When are you coming to market? Do you want to wait? Do you want to just go for the sale? What's going on with inventory at the time? And just kind of check all your numbers and stats. Again, reach out to your Heaton Dainard brokers if you're thinking about selling a property and you're not sure if you want to sit on it for a minute. We can definitely give you advice and give our 2 cents on that. The end of 2023 forecast, Fannie Mae season average rate. They're anticipating the average rate to be at 6.8% in 2023. I don't know if it's going to get there if they have one more hike on the horizon. So we got to wait and see. We could be sitting in the sevens by the end of the year. And then the mortgage banker, uh, sorry, my video is blocking, so I can't read it. They were projecting the Mortgage Banker Association with the next year. They think the rates can be in the fives, which I do think that's a little aggressive. I'm hoping that's the case, and if we see that, we're going to see a really, really strong rebound in the housing market. We could see a rubber band shoot up real quick. So it's a good thing to watch, but it might be a little bit optimistic considering with what's going on with inflation in the labor market right now. All right, so impacts from rates. Again, you guys were seeing a surging market. Seasonal slowdowns have come into effect for sure. The market was a lot busier June, beginning of July, but we are seeing, if you have a good house, people are coming through and looking at it. A lot of our townhome sites that we have listed, we're getting them sold. It takes a little bit of time, but 1 week we'll get one showing, the next week we'll get six, and so it's just kind of buyers are kind of jumping in and out. Now, one thing that we do see is every time we think there's going to be a rate increase, we do see a little jump in the market. So next time the Fed talks, if they're anticipating another rate hike, that's where you might see a little surge in the market. So stay on your pricing at that point. Good product sells well and fast. I've talked a lot about that. What kind of products moving? Again, that traditional family home where people can grow is doing really, really well. Markets has leveled out, and we're seeing less price drops and less days on market, though. So as inventory's tightened up, cost of money's still up. There's a lot less product. Things are selling, right? Days on market dropped quite a bit in all three counties. Price drops are not as dramatic. Definitely percentage of list is a lot less of a gap. But you still need to work for those buyers that are selective. They do, because the housing cost and their monthly payments so much higher, they are being very, very selective in what they want to buy. So make sure your house feels good, it feels marketable, and make sure there's no objection by the presentation, because you don't want to scare off that good buyer for your product, especially if you have something that's a little bit more expensive. I know we're spending a lot more money on just maintenance for properties, making sure that they look really dialed in by the time anybody comes to show. So what are we doing? A lot of the same stuff that we've been doing the last 12 months. We've increased our hold times. We're anticipating 1 to 2 more months on average per deal, just because things take a little bit longer to sell. Construction contingencies, we're still adding those in. We want to buffer those performas. Cluster comps, we're not using that one outlier comp. To talk on that real quick, there isn't a whole lot of data points, right? Inventory shrunk by 25% roughly. And so as inventory shrinks, that's also going to kind of dilute the amount of comps that are there. And so it makes it a lot trickier to pull your data correctly. And you really want to dig in to each cluster. But if there's not a cluster, what is selling? Dig into all the negative, all the pros of that property, and then make your adjustments from there. It could be neighborhood, street, it could be whether there's sidewalks in there. Is there a community that they're in? Where are the bedrooms and bathroom layouts? With it because there's so little comps. You really want to dig and be thorough on each one and see what the difference is and the main differences between your product and the other. Because again, those little differences can make a big impact on your price right now because it might make it less marketable. Using data points from 12 months ago. So the reason we're going back 12 months on the comparables is because the year over year median home price has actually gone up in all three counties. So we feel like if we're using data from 12 months ago, it's actually a lot more conservative. Um, and so we are going back 12 months, plus we can then find the comps that we're looking for. We feel like it's very comfortable in our underwriting. We're really still focused on pending data. We will use pending data over sold data all day long because it's the most recent buyer activity and it's telling us today what things are worth, especially with rates still continuing to creep. And we've increased our expected returns from 16 to 20%, which is about a 35 to 45% levered return. All right. Well, you guys, what we're going to do now before I go jump into our acquisition sales meeting is I'm going to open it up for questions. If not, you guys can put your questions in the YouTube channel and I will answer them there as well. And also, if you have any feedback where you guys are looking for different types of information you'd like us to present, let us know as well. We will make some adjustments for you guys. So I'll leave it open. I know a lot of this people are listening to on their background during their jobs. Questions have gotten pretty light. So give it about a minute or two, and if they don't come in, we'll shut it down. And again, put your questions in our comments section, and we will answer accordingly from there. Okay, not a whole lot of questions, so we're going to shut this down, guys, and we will go from there. I look forward to seeing you guys next month. Again, if you have any other requests, let us know. We will put it in, and we will continue to keep you guys updated on our local Seattle market.